Imagine if Hades jumped into a pixelated pool filled with unforgiving monsters and fast combat encounters. Then you would get Hollow Survivors is an action roguelike which sees us fight through 4 biomes, take down 6 bosses to destroy 3 crystals to save lost souls from a repeating death cycle and a rather bleak setting. After biting the dust more often than Queen, I've managed to finally, ultimately, at long last, beat the final boss for the first time, unlocking the harder difficulty level of the game. Man, I suck. So let's explore the new title together and see what it is all about with its solid strengths and frustrating weaknesses. Hollow Survivors throws us into a handful of biomes, armed with one of 4 weapons. By the glorious skill that is the dodge roll, we weave our way through enemies, utilize the weapon's few attacks, while a changeable magical skill can be used until the mana points are depleted. Facing off against waves of exploding spiders, hovering skulls and the goats from hell, we clear out level by level, filling up a progression bar, and once full, we either are rewarded with a resource spendable in the base or upgrades for the current run, varying in not many but enough options. At specific stages each run we encounter bosses, with a handful of mechanics and abilities testing our reflexes and movement skills. Once finishing all bosses or running out of every single life point, we traverse back to the start in the base, spending the mentioned soul essence for upgrades and use keys to unlock new weapons and spells. A third currency is used to unlock a few improvements in the hub, while a fourth one lets us pick up new skins, coloring our main character differently and change the design of their horns. Getting back into the real meat of the game, we are constantly rushing through levels in a satisfying and rather fast as well as unforgiving combat design. A quickly responding dodge ability keeps us out of the enemy's reach, while we utilize the currently 4 weapons with a fast slashing sword and scythe, a slow but devastating axe and an enemy piercing bow. Those 4 weapons are decently designed and work well within the rough waves, which increase in intensity the higher we climb the stairs, while the handful of upgrades we get are incredibly impactful, empowering our overall damage, leaving a curse that damages the enemies or splits our equipped spell into 3, to name a few examples. These spells can clear whole waves or annihilate nearly every enemy with one shot, while the mana to use for those skills is being regenerated by bashing on enemies, giving us a great alternation between building and spending this energy resource. The few weapons further allow us to either just button smash for the win, killing enemies with the basic auto attack, or charge up the bow for targeting piercing attacks, or load up the scythe for a 360 no-scope slash. While the combat benefits from these options, it is a bummer that it is not the fact for the other 2 weapons, which have a nice but limited 3-hit combo. Apart from these limited attack patterns, the fights are heavily reliant on our reflexes and positioning to avoid traps, lava pits and smashing tentacles, combined with the very fast combat design, seeing us dodge telegraphed attacks from enemies while putting in the works in those small hit windows. Especially during the boss fights, a keen eye is necessary to avoid some very harsh mechanics and some rather mellow ones, with the second boss slashing at us relentlessly, giving us only a brief moment to deal damage, while the third, Dragonite's cousin, has 3 abilities, easy to dodge and a large amount of time to beat the crap out of it without a disturbance. This unbalance in difficulty levels is far less an issue when it comes to the customization options. The spendable soul essences allow for permanent damage upgrades for the weapon and spell attacks, a higher health pool, more dodge rolls and higher chances to obtain better upgrades, split into a few rarity sets. While those are essentially the only upgrades we can get, we gather keys to unlock new weapons and skills to switch up our gameplay routine, as well as spend a special resource to enhance our upgrading options, or give us more passive income in form of soul pinatas. These enhancements for the base buildings are a nice little side goal to achieve, until we empower all of them quite fast and have no further use of the still building up resource. While the skin variety is minor, it is still a welcome change of color, but the most impactful customization options are the random upgrades we gain during the many levels. Increasing our overall damage numbers is a great form of consistent progression, but with those mentioned power-ups, we venture further and further into the punishing world of Hollow Survivors, which not only see us unlock a very welcome health regeneration shrine after each boss fight, but also lets us unfold more of the world's mystery with interactions between the different NPCs and us. These minor but solid story tidbits envelop the world in a mystique frame, while the combat and the weapons are definitely the main features of the game. A lack of upgrading options for these weapons and special abilities, as well as a rather impactless amassing of a resource, are minor issues with the game, while the major problem I have encountered are game-breaking bugs, which saw my screen crash at the very late stage of the run, or make one specific spell against bosses useless. If those bugs persist, it would be a huge shame, since the base core of the game is great and would result in a positive score, but not with those bugs. Would you agree with my verdict? Let me know in the comments. And animal fun fact number 43, dolphins have unique names for each other. Isn't that interesting?